Hello, Culture Matters podcast. We are back again with another amazing episode, culture content. Follow me, Jay Doran underscore the Culture Man on Instagram because this is based on short videos on different topics on business, culture, life, philosophy, and so much more leadership. Today's topic is 98% of HR leaders believe a great company culture drives business success. Okay. I want to elucidate on this topic. I'm so excited about this topic because I think HR is not a really, at least the the small company, like the small business, rather. I don't know how clear the value of HR is to people, and it's a valuable component of a company's success. So why would 98% of HR leaders believe a great company culture drives business success? So, firstly, what is HR? I'm going to go through some of the explanations here, according to a quick search. Okay, HR stands for Human Resources. It's a department that manages many aspects of an organization's employees. So, like recruitment, training, development, employee relations, performance management, onboarding, compensation, benefits, risk management, audits, and legal compliance. See, if you look at the top part of that list, recruitment, so attracting talent, training development, creating upward mobility, making like creating, let's say, increasing the likelihood of people becoming better, more educated, more competent, more aware. Wow, employee relations. Okay, now it's starting to get like it react like that was all proactive stuff. Now it's also going to go into the reactive stuff. Like you get later, lower down the list here, risk management, audits, and legal compliance. But where I'm going with this is one of the reasons 98% of HR leaders would believe a great company culture drives business performance is because the less proactive the business is, business as in CEO, executive management team, right? The visionary and strategists and and value modelers of the business, the less proactive, the more reactive human resource will be to the organization. And we don't want the human resource element of the organization to be reactive. We need it to be proactive because it's already structurally a reactive component to an organization to make sure that the organization continues to grow in a healthy way. Because think about this, human resource as a department it manifests as a consequence of the original human resource, which are the founding principles of the organization. In the beginning, the founder, the CEO, is the one recruiting talent, selling the vision, wearing all the hats until they're not wearing all the hats because they through their word and their actions inspire and of course take risk management, right? Risk, that's on the list. Take risk in bringing human capital to the table to take some of the things off of their plate. So like a small business, if you're listening to this, you don't have an HR department. You are HR, human resource. You are a human resource. You are human capital fulfilling on the expectation of the customers to get that product to market, to get that service fulfilled or completed. The human resource in the beginning of the business is the leadership, is that founding principles. They're recruiting, right? They're attracting talent. They're training and developing in the sense that they're modeling the behaviors. It's small enough that talented people will be attracted, and they will learn through osmosis. They will people we human beings we actually model our peers when we don't even realize we're modeling them. We'll pick up and we'll take on their mannerisms, we'll take on their word tracks, we'll take on that's where it's so important and why it's so important to show people what to do and how to do it and to be engaged is that the people closest to us will model our behavior without even recognizing or being aware of it, without us even saying what to do or how to do it. They'll just be watching and admiring and learning and getting and naturally pick up just like children pick up habits from their parents. In the beginning, so why would 98% of human resource leaders say that strong company culture drives business success? Because the strong company culture is the proactive element that the human resource as a department, as a reactive, as a structure that's inherently reactive. It reacts to the proactivity or reactivity of the people, like the management's proaction. And now what's proaction versus reaction? Proaction be there's trust, right? So that's a leader, that's a CEO that has vision, communicates vision in their words and their actions, that is able to develop not just develop that team, not just develop that team in the sense that they've got a team, but the best comes out of that team because they're focused on vision, strategy, and the people, right? The vision, strategy, people, and product. So the culture, right? The great company culture is going to be a consequence of the leadership of the organization and how responsible the leadership is and how competent, or let's say well placed, the accountability measures are in the organization. Does it have a board? Or if it doesn't, do they, how competent are their advisors? Where are they getting their learnings from? Who are in their peer group and who are influencing them? If it's public, how competent is that board? How is it? How well is the feedback channels going to that CEO? If it's sponsor backed, like investor backed, what degree of communication and trust and cadence and alignment does the sponsor have with the investment, right? The private company. It would make sense that 98% of HR leaders believe great company culture drives business success because HR doesn't create the culture. They respond and reflect the culture. If you go through this list of things that HR does, for simplicity's sake here, recruitment, HR professionals fill open positions and find talented specialists. First of all, before there's HR, you may not have an HR department in your company. You're HR. If you're the founder, if you're the CEO, if you work for a company, you're not the founder, CEO, but there isn't an HR department, and you're bought in and engaged, you're going to be doing that. You're going to be naturally excited about the job that you have and the opportunity you have, and your friends and family are going to know about it, and you're naturally talking and you're excited about it and part about it. People in your life would say, "Oh, how do I work with your company?" This is how multi-level marketing works. They actively just farm their interpersonal relationships. See, non-multi-level marketing companies, they don't actively farm their relationships. It happens organically. They don't necessarily actively farm the relationships. It happens organically because everybody's HR. Everybody's filling open positions and finding talents and specialists in the sense that their energy and engagement attracts people. That's a sign of something special happening with culture. Training and development. HR professionals design and deliver training programs to help employees develop the skills they need to be successful. As the organization grows, becomes an enterprise, that's like the business. If the management's engaged and it really is growing and moving, just like it's cheaper to sell a customer more stuff because the cost of the sale is down. It's cheaper to sell a existing customer something than a brand new customer. Second sale's cheaper than first sale. Fifth sale should be cheaper than second. Having an employee learn and grow and become a better person and more competent and useful as they're with the company, the loyalty leads them to do more and always get less, even though they're getting more. There's an exponential J curve on the profit potential of an existing person growing in the culture. It's why, like, it's like, think about, there's an internal education system because we're creating upward mobility because people have to learn new things and unlearn other things and grow and develop through a company. And the longer that we've been with a company that we believe in, the more loyal we are to it. This is like psychologically, an example would be, if we're fighting for our country, there's people that would be proud to sign up for a draft and there's others that wouldn't. Well, maybe what if there was a connection psychologically with someone proud to sign up for a draft because they're a fourth generation family of military men or women, right? It's in their family history that you fight for your country. They never ended up doing the military. They're fourth gen. A draft comes around. If they're aligned with their family and they're not the black sheep and they are aligned with the country, they're going to be more likely to be excited about that draft than somebody that's not aligned with the country and has no historical background from a family sense of the military. And, bearing that they're not a psychopath and they just want to kill people. So, um, the training and development, HR professionals design and deliver training programs to help employees develop skills they need to be successful. Before there's a department of HR, that, like I said, we mirror nemesis, we mirror and match our leadership. We take on the if we're paying attention, we admire our leader. We're actually becoming components of them, even if we're not aware of it. It's part of how human beings, um, it's part of um, how we grow and how we evolve. Oh, I just lost the screen share. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I'll go to YouTube. It's going to be just as fruitful for you. So I could keep going. I go through this as employee relations. HR teams build a trusted work environment by improving communication between management and employees and addressing conflicts. Integration, the spirit of integration is the core values acted out of leadership. So a leader that's able to listen and speak and knows when to listen and when to speak and knows and is able to ask questions and bring get the most information out of the smart people around them and help put it all together. There's an orchestra and they're that person with the moving their hands back and forth. The maestro, that's the leader. The maestro is the leader, bringing the best out of everybody, asking questions, not thinking for everyone, but helping them uh, come to the best conclusions and stewing the pot or mixing the stew so that people are bringing the most value to the organization. They're not just thinking and speaking and talking for everyone. That's happening before there's a human resource department in the leadership that's getting people together, explaining where we're going, why we're going there, and asking how we can get there and building it together. Performance management, HR professionals measure employee performance against their role requirements and KPIs. Yeah, as an organization becomes more and more of an enterprise, it becomes an accountability mechanism as a feedback loop for the responsibility up or down, the ability to respond of the people on an individual level. But this is the thing. Uh, Human resources becomes, and I'll end with this, hardly relevant when there's a breakdown in management's trust, vision, strategy. Human resource is not going to, they're going to react to the CEO. They're not going to proact. They're in the frame, they're in the structure. That's why management consulting is important and valuable and an inevitability, and having the competent advisors, professionals. Think of the management consulting as a human resource for that CEO and executive team. It's like if there's three circles, um, there's one circle in the middle. There's one circle in the middle, which is the company. The second circle would be in that circle, which is a component of that circle, is a human resource. And there's a third circle that's slightly in the company and then outside of the company. Explored territory is the company, and unexplored territory is outside of the company. Unexplored territory is where that management consulting world, the professional services, that's slightly in explored territory, the company, but primarily outside. It's different power dynamic. And it's an accountability measure to increase the responsibility of the organization, starting with the relationship of the CEO and the executive team. It's outside, it's not inside. And as institutions grow and become and decay, become internally corrupt, that second circle, which is the human resource department, is inside of that first circle. It's not outside, it's not unexplored territory, it's explored territory. And that it's going to react to the bigger circle, which is the organization. It's going to react to the C-suite, to the CEO's core values, to the CEO's engagement, vision, paying, attention, competency level, education. It's there to proact to the people, but it's going to react to the management team. So if the management team is corrupt, the human resource department becomes hardly relevant. And how we avoid corruption is professional services. That's where my life's destiny falls in, as an example. And this is why culture matters. 98% of the leaders of HR leaders believe a great company culture drives business success, because in the absence of the quote unquote great company culture, which, that's like an engaged, competent, aware, active, like proactive management team, and in consequence, proactive human resource department, right? Not reactive human resource department. It's going to become reactive if the management team's reactive, because it's inherently reacting to the company, proacting to the people. The management team has to proact to the marketplace so that it's modeling the values and drawing out the proaction of the HR department. And how it does that is as you need an unbelievable CEO, and that person needs the right people around them inside the organization. That's their management team, their C-suite, and outside of the organization, the board, and the various relationships they have outside of the organization, advisorial, consulting, legal, and so on and so forth, that help them be at the highest level of awareness and competency to drive the organization forward. So in closing, that is why 98% of HR leaders believe strong company culture, or great company culture, drives business success. Follow me, Jay Doran _ the Culture Man on Instagram, and leave us a review in the Culture Matters podcast. We will see you next.